Hello, and welcome to the Cussing Pod, episode 2, the only Flesh and Blood podcast with exactly 2 hosts. On today's episode, we're going to make all sorts of predictions, but first, we're going to talk tournament report and news. First in the news, we have spoilers, Leo, and I know you're excited. As someone who's been getting really into Dorinthia lately, I know you're excited about all Warrior spoilers.
I'm excited about Hala. I'm gonna be real. Our new Origins deck, y'all, my favorite probably deck ever printed, or of the precons that they've done, and now another Origins deck, and it's a warrior. Oh my, they're feeding me too well.
It's exactly for you and no one else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's go over the 4 cards spoiled for the Hala deck. There's
Yep.
Hala herself, who is a 4 intellect, 40 health warrior. She doesn't have any special talent. It says action, pay 3 resources and tap. Sharpen target sword you control. Go again. And the reminder text tells us that sharpen means put a +1 counter on the sword in this case, and then remove all the +1 counters at the end of the turn. This is a fairly weak hero ability, would you agree?
I would say so. I think it's pretty underwhelming. Like from first glance, it seems to do almost nothing. Paying 3 to give +1 is a very, very bad rate. So
Which
I
means this has to be a synergy based hero.
has to be. I would have to imagine pitching a blue to her ability. You almost don't want to do unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a get out of jail free card for when
Hmm.
you need counters, but you don't draw a card that gives you counters.
Yes. Oh, what cards give you counters? I don't even
Oh,
know what that does.
well, first let's look at the sword, because I think that's really
All
important.
right.
The Zenith Blade. This is a 3 attack warrior sword. It's two-handed. It's a Hala specialization, so no Dorinthias can get their hand on it.
So sad.
Once per turn action, pay 1 and attack for 3. If it's been sharpened this turn, its first attack gets go again. So this kind of points to Hala playing a lot like Dorinthia, where if you jump through hoops, you get sword attack into sword attack. Um, well, this doesn't actually let you attack an additional time, let's be clear. But that's where we're going with this is one single sword, so we need to attack multiple times to get the value.
And 1 for 3 is a good on rate for a two-handed warrior sword. That's
It
pretty
is
fair.
it is the rate.
Hmm.
Um so yeah, nothing too special about the sword. Most notably, with the hero ability costing 3 and this costing 1, you will need more than a card's worth of pitch to do both, which is why, like Leo said before, it's best if you have cards that do it without pitching. Like Edict of Steel. This is a 0 cost red warrior action. Sharpens target sword you control. If it has a counter on it, you get a flurry token, and then you go again with this. And a flurry token can let you attack a second time with a sword. Whenever you attack, you can destroy the flurry and attack twice this turn. Notably, this doesn't say an additional time, so you can't do something silly like have
Two
3
flurries.
flurry tokens and then attack like 4 times in a turn.
Hmm.
This exactly flurry tokens will only allow you to attack twice a turn.
Yeah. And you don't get to choose when you destroy the flurry. The flurry will break on attack.
When you activate a oh, so true. It's like a quicken, so you can hold them
Yeah.
as long as you're not attacking.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Edict of Steel seems like a pretty good card.
I love that it doesn't say Ala specialization. I think that's the best part about the card. I like that other warriors can play this.
Some people have been talking about Bolton potentially playing this on a Lumina turn. It's effectively an
Oh,
extra Lumina, except for the
yeah.
on-hit bit.
The making a flurry token other warriors seems very, very interesting. I
Yes.
like where that's going.
Yes, especially since now we'll need to confirm how this works exactly, but I'm imagining with a flurry token, if you attack with, let's say, Dorinthia,
Mhm.
you attack, it pops, you get a second swing this turn. It can swing twice.
Mhm.
Then when you hit with Dorinthia, you get an additional swing. Now, if that allows you to swing 3 times, that's very, very powerful. Or Flurry might be worded this way to avoid that. And we're going to need confirmation by LSS rules people, but it has a lot of potential in other warriors.
It's interesting as well that it doesn't say sword. It says weapon attack, which
Yes.
is odd because I'm assuming that Hala only comes with her sword. So are they intending for flurries to be given to other warriors with certain weapons?
I think that
Like,
sounds reasonable. It was intended to be future proofed and played in other decks.
yeah, because I was thinking about Decimator, Decimator X, two
Always.
blues, and you can swing Decimator twice with a flurry on board. That's pretty good.
It
That
will
seems pretty
need
good.
go again, however.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I guess you got boots and stuff that can do it for you, but
Yeah.
or agility or so. Seems interesting.
Yeah. The fact that Hala says sword means that you can't like pitch. You can't turn 3 blues into like 10 damage with the axe.
Yeah,
But other axe decks could potentially use flurry.
could be interesting.
I think the other really important thing about Edict of Steel is that it is a common. So that, alongside Zenith Blade being a rare, points to Hala getting a young version in this Origins deck so that she can be played in
Page.
Silver Age. Either that or she gets printed in Compendium as a young hero so she can be played in Sage. I think that is pretty likely, to be honest.
That'd be interesting because her deck doesn't come out till 2 months after Compendium.
Yeah, so she get a soft launch in like Sage. I mean, she could also be printed as an adult in Compendium, and then this is where the majority of her cards come in, but then it wouldn't really be an Origins deck.
Not really. If the hero's already out.
So probably she'll get the young inside this deck. Makes
And I
sense to
wonder
me.
if they're going to print Flurry support cards in Compendium because we haven't really got anything in Compendium as yet for commons, uncommons, warrior
True.
even. So maybe they're revealing spoilers to get people hyped for Flurry to be printed in Compendium, which I would like.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good warrior mechanic.
Hmm.
Warriors could use another token.
Another aura token to be destroyed by a scour. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, this could make the like triple swing Fang build. I always thought that the extra swing cards in Hunted, which there's heaps of them, would see more play, but they really don't. So maybe
Yeah,
more of that support would make Fang do a triple swing build and maybe cut the attack actions, and that could be
I
two
could do
different builds.
because Fire and Brimstone is definitely one of my favorite cards in Fang. Yet only able to run one makes it pretty bad.
Yeah, well, pretty luck based, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go on from spoilers and look at tournaments. Today we're looking at Road to Nationals Week 2 and Week 3 results. Let's start
Yep.
with Week 2. We can see that Verdance and Florian make up about a quarter of total wins. Earth dominance once again. We're feeling about Earth. I'm getting sick of it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a single Jarl in that first week, which is a little upsetting. But
Well,
Earth has had its place for a long time, so.
yeah,
But once we move down a bit further, we get to see the more interesting deck builds coming
yep.
through.
So
Facilio, for one.
Acilio in how many wins does Acilio get? 10, which is
Mhm.
7%. He is tied with Kasai and Gravy for 10 wins. So they're all kind of in the A tier decks, right? Acilio,
Yeah.
Gravy, Kasai, and even KO Armed and Dangerous. While Mario is very, very strong, didn't show up nearly as much in week 2.
No, not as much.
Yeah, that Earth dominance. So, big story here, Earth dominance. Let's go into week 3.
Yeah.
We can see that this changes a little bit. Florian is now the top of the town at 17 wins, which is 15%, making him a solid first deck, a solid S tier deck. Whereas Verdant's dropped down a little bit. She got the a lot less wins in week 3 than she did in week 2. Although I think there was less events in week 3 than week 2. But a
I
pretty
think
significant drop off.
I think the root bound carapace bands definitely hit Verdance a little harder than they hit Florian. With
Definitely more than I
Florian,
thought they did.
yeah, Florian almost changing complete deck archetypes to be a more aggro value,
Yes.
which has been very strange to see that getting a defensive card banned made a deck stronger. Which is very odd. Very
We've
odd.
seen that once or twice in Fab's lifetime. Sometimes
Hmm.
a centralizing card gets banned and people suddenly explore alternate deck builds that unlock stronger gameplay.
Hmm.
And that seems to have been the case for Florian. Although I think more likely we should point to things like Syndra losing a lot of her relevance.
Yeah.
As I think that Syndra was pretty good into Florian. I think she was pretty good into both Earth Heroes.
Yes.
The other notable thing for week 3 is Acilio jumping up to tie with Verdance in wins. So it's a really big jump from week 2. The Acilionaires are cheering. Do you think he's going to stay winning, or was this a very lucky week?
I think he's going to stay winning. I think Wizards have set themselves very high in the meta right now, with Acilio and Vidence still being very top decks.
It
But
is the
Acilio is
Rosetta meta.
it is Rosetta meta. I think Azilio might outdo Vidence in terms of honestly, in my opinion, fun. And just like match rate ups overall. I think he has a better matchup into more decks than Vidance does, as Vidance seems to fall short on
Gravy.
you, Gravy, Dio, even, who is not too far behind.
Or I
Just
think
not,
Verdance is very strong into Dio, but um, yeah, Celio definitely wins some matchups that Verdance can struggle a little bit into. I think that Verdance has had a very flat win rate where she's kind of 50 to 55% into nearly everything, but she doesn't have too many matchups where she's nearly guaranteed that win.
yeah.
Whereas Acilio has some matchups where he is nearly guaranteed that win.
Hmm.
Things like Gravy, I've heard, are nearly unlosable.
Apparently.
You just kind of kill them, it
Yeah.
seems. Okay, so pretty exciting Road to Nationals sort of data. Let's look now at the Calling Columbus. Now, this is going to be, I think, a really big data point and a really big piece of information for people who maybe haven't been keeping up with tournaments. Florian won the Calling Columbus, earning himself 50 solid points and putting him into Living Legend. Michael
Finally.
Yazka pushing Florian over the edge in a really interesting finals game that I would recommend people watch.
Definitely, absolutely. The quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals of the Columbus Scoring are all just extremely interesting and very fun to watch.
Mm.
Margin Bay absolutely crushing it in quarterfinals and having a very close game in semifinals with Michael Yazgar.
Yeah,
And the finals is such an interesting game to watch.
yeah,
Highly recommend it.
totally. So let's talk about the metagame here. They had just over 300 players at the Calling.
Hmm.
Arachne Marionette, the most popular at 38. Gravy Bones, Florian, both at just about 30. And then there's lots of decks like Cilio Kasai, Syndra Dash, KO, um, Underhanded Cheat. So both KOs are in there. And Fang between 20 to 10 sort of decks. And then Verdance is all the way down to only 12 players bringing her. So last week we talked about the low conversion rate of Verdance at the other calling, whatever that one was. Do you think that people got off the deck because of that?
I think so. I think the change in the meta around Mario, Gravy, and Florian really took people away from Verdansk. Um, she just became a lot less powerful with losing her defensive package. She can't just sit back, set up, and then combo or outvalue. She kind of has to be proactive now,
Yeah.
which she just struggles to do a lot more than Florian, that's for sure. Compared to
Florian
the other
has
Earth,
those go again cards that let him truly be proactive, whereas
yeah,
Verdance kind of has to play very in the middle now.
easily.
Yeah. So then there's a lot of decks here that go between like 10 and 1 represented. Most of these decks pretty bad right now. They would just be, people bringing their favorite deck. But
Mm,
there's two I want to mention. Number one is Pleiades, who had
absolutely.
two 7 and 0 players at the end of day one and put two people into the top 8, Thomas Avert and Damien Riggins. This is a fatigue deck list, but I've heard that it's a bit more of an active fatigue deck list. It's not a sit back and block style deck.
Yeah.
Do you
It's
understand this deck as the resident Guardian player?
I as someone who honestly doesn't really like fatigue packages in Guardian, I do understand. I was watching the quarterfinals game between Thomas Abbott and Marjin Bay, and I'm like, okay, what is this Pleiades deck? I mentioned in episode one there was a Pleiades fatigue deck going around, but I hadn't actually seen it until the quarterfinals. The deck is very interesting. I Pleiades being able to play instant speed auras that punish your opponent for taking a turn off, while also having 3 block instant speed auras.
Yeah.
It makes her honestly a pretty good fatigue deck. She can block out when she needs, but when you need to take a turn off, she will punish you by dropping a hand and swinging big. It's pretty interesting. What Thomas and Davian were able to do to get Pleiades into top 8, which I don't think anyone was expecting
No, it
at all.
definitely came out of nowhere.
Um, but seeing as she's pretty much the only Guardian who can play these instant speed auras with payoff. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Lyeth play a few of them, but you just can't
Yeah.
utilize it as best as Pleiades can.
He's not the same deck.
Yeah, and her specialization that lets her put Guardian attacks from her graveyard back on top, and being able to get back the attack that puts instant auras back from your graveyard into play to recur
Ah.
itself is the only thing she can do.
So she has an infinite damage loop at the end of the game.
Yes, if you don't kill her before you get to the end of the game, she will infinite loop you, pretty much.
Very interesting. Yeah, I think this deck is I haven't looked into it too much, but I'm happy that there is a fatigue deck existing that doesn't win by stuffing itself full of D-reacts
Yeah,
until it's like 40 D-reacts and life gain cards. I'm happy that there's like an old school Guardian that will fatigue through forcing your opponent to block or take setup turns.
yeah.
The other notable deck here is Katsu. No one has been talking about Katsu. Hero is kind of good, but it needs opponents that don't block. It needs some really talented pilots, I think. But we did get
Absolutely.
one all the way to the top 8. Um, so that was a very interesting run. Do you think that Katsu is actually good, or this pilot is very talented, or just got lucky?
I believe the pilot is extremely talented.
This is more of
Um,
a pilot win than a deck win.
I think it's a mix of both. A small mix that people aren't expecting Katsu, people haven't played into Katsu,
Yep.
and don't know what his cards do, what his hero does, or any of that jazz. So I think the unexpectedness of playing as a Katsu, in turn with a extremely good pilot for the deck, I think propelled the deck to absolutely crush into the quarterfinals. Before unfortunately ending to Lucas Oswald, who was made it all his way to the finals. So
Yeah.
I really wish I could have seen the deck in the quarterfinals, but nonetheless, I'm sure I was insane.
Yeah, so I have to imagine that Katsu has a very good gravy matchup, probably
Hmm,
very unlosable, being
very
a
much so.
ninja with access to
Pretty
Master
good on hit
Momentum.
effects.
Yes, I think that Katsu probably has a fine matchup into Marionette, would be my guess. Marionette running lots of two blocks right now. There will be hands where they can't block out. They're also a lot less disruptive than your typical assassin. So
Yeah,
I think that that being the top two sort of decks made uh, Katsu a really, really good choice.
absolutely.
Um, Acilio probably kind of luck based matchup. Whoever combos first. I have to
Yeah, it
imagine.
seemed that way.
I have to imagine he's not very good into Florian Pleiades. Probably either decks that block particularly well.
Yes. The quarterfinals margin bay versus Pleiades deck, as on Thomas of and Acilio, was such an interesting game to watch because I had assumed that the Pleiades could just block out and fatigue the Acilio out of his gone on a flash turns and his crazy combos. But the absolute combo potential of Acilio and the luck based Channel Lightning Valley, Flash of Brilliance, all that jazz is just such a wonder to watch. Honestly, kind of makes me want to play Wizard just a little bit, just a little bit.
Acilio's are very fun. He's a Rune Blade. We talked about that last week.
He's a room blade. That's true.
Cool. So we're going into a meta that has five about decks that are like kind of vying for first place, and 10 decks that are very solid. I think that
Mm.
Marionette, Gravy, Acilio, Verdance are definitely decks vying for like a top two, top one sort of position on the meta. Decks like Fang, Dash, Syndra, Prism. Uh, I think that these types of decks are sort of vying to be medium represented A tiers that counter those S tiers.
Yeah,
But without Florian, what do you expect to change? What could rise up now that Florian is gone and take those places?
I think Prism is due for a rise up. I think Prism can come through now that Florian, one of her worst matchups, is now gone. Um, she can. She pretty much has room. I think Acilio, Arachne, uh, Gravy are all pretty good matchups from
Should be.
what I know. They've got no poppers. They have to rely on luck, where Prism is, and they don't block. That's the other thing.
They
Decks
block
that
pretty
don't block and
badly.
have, yeah, decks that don't block, no poppers. In the top, I think Prism can come through,
All right.
especially with a few warriors up there. The only thing
Yes,
that's holding it back is KO. Both, I
that's
guess,
exactly right.
or
I was gonna say
just armed and dangerous.
mostly armed and dangerous. Think that it's pretty likely that KO rises up, as Florian was probably his worst matchup. Although
Mm.
he's also not very great into Gravy. He's also
Yes,
probably not great into Acilio, to be honest. He probably has a fine Marionette matchup, but I think that KO could rise up and kind of gatekeep Prism out of the meta a little bit,
yeah.
which would be sad because Prism's really close to LLing, and I think that it would be hilarious to see Prism LL twice before Livia or Bolton even get above halfway.
That's true, but also KO is pretty close himself to LLing. So if
Mm-hmm.
KO does rise up, he could LL and then immediately Prism to follow,
True. I
which I think would be
saw
pretty funny.
I saw someone do the math that KO had won 55, I think it was, points on average this season per week.
Yeah,
And that if he continues to do average, he will LL because he is on a 1.5 multiplier.
yeah.
And then we lose Mandible Claws, and Brutes can go back to not existing, as they did for most of Flesh and Blood's history.
Blood Rush can be go back to being a pretty mid card, which is
Yeah,
nice.
a good card, but not centralizing the deck, hopefully.
Yeah,
I think we could do with another redesign for Brute, honestly.
yeah. It's been
Unfortunately,
a
that
while.
class has not seen the best success.
I mean, with Tough Nut and Underhanded Cheat, it's been interesting. Mostly Underhanded Cheat. Tough Nut hasn't really been anywhere, but
Tough Nut, I think, still has 0 living legend points, so I really wouldn't put him in the conversation.
yeah, you're right. Underhanded Cheat though, very cool deck. Interesting brute deck.
A
I
deck
like
that's
the idea of
probably
it.
good, especially with
Hmm.
Florian gone.
Yes. But it's interesting that we'll see KO Living Legend twice and Prism Living Legend twice, perhaps in the next month or two.
Yeah. Um, I don't think that KO is going to live in Legend twice, to be clear. This is the first KO in CC, and RKO is not LLing. He's got 10 points or something.
Oh, is there not a second KO for this? No,
You're thinking of the
thinking
young
of
only
Blitz.
KO.
Yeah, dice rolling KO. My love.
Boo.
Nothing wrong with that.
For sure. Now, what I want to talk about, we already did a little bit, is who's going to LL next. Prism and KO. Who would you bet was going to be the second LL this season?
I would bet money on Prism. I think
I'm going to
Prism
bet on KO.
seems we have a bet going on.
Most
We'll have to
to be
see.
a contrarian. Now,
Yeah.
I think that KO is a very easy pick to make, and Prism is a kind of underdog guess. So, makes sense
I do want to
to.
point to the Calling Columbus conversion rate for day two.
Uh huh.
Prism with a 20% conversion rate and KO with only a 6%. Only one of those decks got through.
That's because he secretly sucks, but
A
people
little
love to
bit.
play him.
That's true. I mean, there's a 100% Bolton conversion rate, which is so funny.
Yeah.
Bolton, the highest conversion rate of Calling Columbus.
As if that means a single thing. Unfortunately, I
Yeah,
don't think Bolton's time is yet, although flurry tokens could help out.
could a little bit. Those Lumina turns could be crazy.
Could be. All right, let's get on to other predictions, other betting, if you will. We have a bingo card in front of you. You can see, dear viewers. We're going to fill this out with guesses based on prompts. So each square we will give a prompt and then we will answer, and hopefully we'll have different answers and we can figure out who is the winner at the end of 2026. So these are guesses for all of 2026. And I think that it's more fun to make slightly wilder guesses, not try and play it super safe on everything. So in the top left, Leo, we're going to make a guess at an armory deck that will come out this year. There is
Yeah.
3 confirmed armory decks to be released after Hala, but there probably will be more. But we're going to try and guess 3 in total today. What class or even what hero would you guess would get an armory deck in this year?
As much as I'd like to say another Guardian, we've already had two. So I
Yes.
don't think it can be Guardian. We've had two. No, we just got an Arachne, so it probably won't be Assassin, although they do love Assassin. We're getting our Warrior. We've had two. What are they called? Is it
Uh,
Brute? No, we had
we've had a
KO.
Brute. We've had
We've
2
had
Brute.
KO.
There's also Rhino.
Rhino, that's it. Um, we've had Bolton, so we'll have two Warriors. Azalea, but she's gone. Aurora's been a Runeblade. I don't know, I'm stuck between two. I'm stuck between Runeblade and Ranger because Azalea was the only deck before it LL'd immediately. Um, Aurora was the only Runeblade deck before it LL'd immediately. So I feel like they have to either fix that by making a new product for either of those classes.
I'm with you on the Ranger plan, but I'm going to be more specific. I'm going to vote Marlin. I think Marlin is a
Marlin.
deck that is very, very close to being good, and that a Armory deck could introduce new pirate cards, which means it is good for Gravy and Puffin, which means it will sell well,
That's
and it
true.
will also introduce new harpoons, which is what Marlin really needs. Well, they
Hmm.
can't just put harpoons in most draft sets. They have to either put them in Compendium or in something like an Armory deck. So I'm voting Armory deck Marlin.
That's fair. That's fair. I think that the Aurora deck will come back. I think they have promised to bring back Aurora, and I think it's going to be in an Armory deck. Acilia will get new Lightning cards. We'll get a few new Runeblade cards for Vincent. So it'll probably sell well because Vincent is a much loved deck, as well as Acilia being very well loved.
Yeah, and not that close to
And,
LLing either of them.
yeah,
So
and Aurora making a comeback. People really liked Aurora. She was fun.
true.
She was fast. She was great. So I think
And
Aurora could make a
she
comeback.
is sort of a poster child for a learn to play hero getting into the game.
Yes,
So it makes sense they do another deck, even though they kind of fucked up the first one by printing it
pretty
right
much.
before she LL'd.
Yeah. Just
Pretty
giving it way too much
a
support.
pretty shitty mistake, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the next one over to the right. Who will LL this year? So there's going to be multiple of these guesses, 3 in total.
Yeah.
What hero would you say is likely to LL?
I'll stick with my original go, Prism. I think Prism's easily gone this year. There's no way she isn't.
Well, that's not nearly as interesting, is it? If we
It's not, it's not.
Oh, let's vote for
But we
someone
do
who
have
has
two more
less
to
than
go.
800 points.
Less than
I
800.
don't know exactly who that is. I think that Verdant's going is a pretty safe guess, while also kind of being, it's somewhat possible that she doesn't.
Yeah.
But this is hopium for me.
As much as I would also love to see Verdance go, I think with recent events, she's kind of fallen off, and I think she will for a little bit. I don't know if she'll LL this year, though. She does have the 0.5 multiplier coming into 1 point multiplier now.
She is at 1 times as of the start of this year, I believe.
Okay. I don't know. I'll stick with Prism for now. We've got two more to
We've
go
got
through.
tomorrow.
So.
The next one is also who will LL this year.
Yes. See, this is where I can make it a little more interesting.
A little bit of spice.
A
I'm
little
gonna
bit of
vote
spice.
for Basilio. I think that Rosetta is a busted set, and once Verdance LLs, Basilio will be the last hero left, and he will also LL, and it will be another sort of what's the Mystic set called?
Uh,
Mistveil, part of the
Miss
Mistveil.
Fail.
It's going to be another Mistveil set where it all LLs pretty rapidly.
Yep. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Mario is going to LL. I
Ooh,
think assassins have a lot of support, and Mario being the best assassin for probably a long time, unless we get another assassin deck printed soon or another assassin hero,
yep.
which is probably more likely than would like. But we've had Huntsman, Zuri, Slippy be there for a while, but none really took off like Mario. And he just plays all the cards the best. So I think he could go. I would love for him to go. I think he could.
Okay, okay. Next one is card that gets unbanned. So, what card would you imagine would get pulled off the ban list coming into the rest of 2026?
That is a hard one.
It'll look at the ban list. I know February actually has a ban list tool.
Yeah.
I wonder where
There
it
are a few I
is.
would love to see unbanned, although but now that Florian's gone, I'm gonna go out on a crazy limb.
Yep.
I want Crown of Seeds back.
Oh my gosh.
I want it back. And I think they could do it. Florian's gone. Verdance probably doesn't really want it that much. I don't see her using it an immense amount to get rid of her Arsenal if she needs Arsenal for setup. I think we can get Crown of Seeds back. I think it's a little crazy to say, but I want it
That's
back.
a big gamble, I reckon.
It is, it is.
I want to say that.
Can I go on a limb and guess what you're gonna say?
Okay, go on.
Scepter. I think you want Scepter, right? Now that Florian's
Yeah,
gone, Scepter has a place.
I think that as much as I want it, they're more likely to print a replacement. I'm going to vote for Golden Tipple. I think that
Ooh.
once Gravy LLs, which I think will happen maybe close to the middle of the year, Tipple could be unbanned. So my vote
Okay.
is going on Tipple unban. All right. In our next category, we have CC card ban. So what card is going to be banned out of Classic Constructed?
This is a hard one.
I
I
already
got a
know what
lot
you're
of
going
new
to
cards.
eventually get to. I'm going to steal it from you before you get there.
Mm-hmm.
T-Tox
No.
banned. Tarantula
Uh,
Toxin is
so strong.
one of the things that makes Mario feel unfair, even if it is somewhat of a fair card with restrictions and downsides. I think that is on a feeling basis really feels unfair to play against, and I think that that could get T-Tox banned in the next month.
Yeah. As sad as this to say, I really want T-Dox banned. It's a 0 for 6, which is ridiculous. I do understand you have to swing a stealth attack, and it has to be a dagger if you want the full effect. But that with a graphene chelicera is disgusting and shouldn't exist.
Probably true,
Oh,
as much as I
so
like
many
it.
cards. I do want T-Dox banned. Um, hmm. So, but it's not what I want banned. It's what I think will be getting banned.
What you think will get banned?
Yeah, there's too many cards. Ugh, man. I can see sirens honestly take a ban.
Oh,
I, I a little interesting. It's a 4 block essentially that promotes
Sirens.
life gain and
How is
um.
Sirens a 4 block, Leo?
Well, it's a 1 block that gains 3 when the combat chain closes. So it's a 4 value, I should say.
Are you thinking of the
Am I
one?
thinking of a different one?
Sirens
One
is the
block that gains 3 life.
that is
Is that not sirens?
as
It's
sorry,
got
Sirens
sirens
is
on it.
the 6 power 2 block that when it goes to graveyard, it
Oh, you gain
gains
a
a
one.
life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What is?
What is
I know
that
what
one
you're
called?
talking about. Now I can't remember.
It's got
Block
sirens on it.
block equal 1. There's not many cards that have exactly 1 block. Oh, there's a bunch of equipment. Shit. Fiddler's Green.
Fiddler's green. That's it. Sorry, no, sorry. It's got sirens on it, so
Those are merfolk.
I'd say sirens. Uh, I'm a Fiddler's green believer. I think this card could go. It could make a lot more fatigue matchups easier, I would say. The LSS doesn't really like, from what I understand, life gain on good cards. Count your blessings, example.
Oh, they loved Count Your Blessings. The community didn't.
Yeah, they really shouldn't have, but I think they learned.
Hopefully. Alright, Fiddler's Green. I could see Fiddler's Green being banned. Now, in
I think
our
it's great.
second layer, we have Mastery Pack 2. So Mastery Pack 1 was Guardian this year, not this year, 2025. In
Listen,
2026, we're getting 2 Mastery Packs. What do you
yeah.
think the second Mastery Pack will be?
Mm, what, 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 what class needs a lot of reprints? Is the real question. Although I know Master Pack Guardian didn't really have very good reprints,
It did have a
or was
lot of
very
them.
good at all. They weren't very good.
Yeah, a lot of common reprints.
Something we didn't need. Then every myth majestic was god awful or only played in Velda.
Yep.
Uh, I can see Warrior getting it.
I think that's a good guess. Although there's so many warriors in Classic Constructed, but there was already so many guardians as well.
Yeah. Well, the cards that need reprints for Warriors are most of the equipment. Grains, dynamos are ridiculously expensive.
Yep.
And such important pieces for certain Warriors.
Yep.
Blade Flurry is overpriced as all hell. That card needs to be reprinted. I'd love to see cool treatment for weapons. Like
Oh. Alt
I'd love to see
arts.
Marvel. I'd love to see Marvel weapons. I really want Marvel weapons for
Marvel
Warrior. I think that'd
Sabers.
be.
Marvel Dawnblade.
I think it'd be really cool.
That's a good
Could
idea.
be an interesting avenue they could go down.
I'm going to use my prediction a little bit differently. I'm going to guess it was
Hmm.
Wizard because as much as Wizards are dominating right now, I think that in 3 months, Wizards will not exist. There's not going to be a Cilio or Verdance. Um, so I think that a Mastery Pack Wizard would be a good way to inject at least one new Wizard hero into the game, as well as kind of redefine what Wizards are, because they've had a few identity crises.
Absolutely. um, I also think that like with Mastery Pack Wizard, they could print a few new extra wizards. Blaze could get an adult in Mastery Pack. I think that'd be totally cool and fair.
Yep.
Same way we got adult Valder and Guardian.
Yes.
And they could put something else in there that'd be nice. Because as soon as Asilian and Verdance go, like you said, there's going to be a vacuum of wizards. Nothing there.
Nothing.
And they're pretty on track.
Yes. Let's get a card gets banned. So this is talking any format. What card will get banned out of any format?
I'm going to steal it.
Oh, you're going to...
I want Pummel going from Sage.
In Sage?
Yeah. As much as I do love it, I don't think it belongs in Sage. It's a little too hard to play around with such small life totals. It's just a little ridiculous.
Okay. I'm on a similar thing here. I'm going to go Sage ban. I think that all of the yellow 4 blocks Guardian cards will be banned. These were designed for Crack Shuffle play. They're given 4 block because they're even pretty mediocre in there. And I think that a recent Oldhim winning Sage deck showing that it could play 10 4 blocks that are yellow as well is very cooked. And I think that that's not what LSS wants the format to be. And therefore, they're just going to ban all of them.
Totally fair. I can fully agree with that too. They are pretty strong, considering you can run 10 of them.
Yeah. 10 4 blocks in my deck in the format that's not allowed to have fucking Sink Below, Fake Machine, whatever. Alright. Our next one is which hero or even class will be good for a month and then bad again after? Who is going to get a spike and then go back to being bad very quickly?
Good or month, bad again. Are we choosing hero or class?
I think hero is more interesting. It's a little bit harder.
I think Bolton.
Bolton's an excellent guess.
Yeah, with the new flurry tokens, I think people will be like, "Oh my goodness, this deck's cracked with like multiple swings of Radiant Lunar Ascension on the board and stuff. It's going to be insane." And then he'll die.
Yeah, because he'll just get counted out of the meta, or he'll get a card banned.
Yeah.
I think that it's Vincent. I think that Vincent is likely to have a very good year, considering Monarch 3 is this year. And we could get more Runeblade cards with Aurora coming back out. So I think Vincent is going to eventually get enough cards, or particular cards, that make her so good that she has to eat a ban. And then she'll go back to being pretty bad. So my guess is Vincent gets cards that make her gross and then eats a ban.
Totally fair. She is like one card away from being completely fucked.
A little bit, yeah. And actually, we've got a listener question about that, so let's not get too much into it right now.
Absolutely.
Next one. Shouldn't have been printed. Which class or talent will get a card that shouldn't have been printed?
It's got to be one of the Aria talents.
Yeah.
Like, they're so easy to break. And I think it'll be Earth. I think Earth will get a card that should not be printed.
I think all Earth cards shouldn't have been printed.
All Earth 3 block cards should not be printed. I'm okay with Earth 2 blocks.
Alright, I'm surprised you didn't say Assassin. Assassin famously gets... it has kind of a low value on most cards, but it has some insanely powerful cards like Codex, like T-Tox. I think that it's kind of likely that Assassin gets another card like Take Up the Mantle. Another card that kind of interacts in a really fucked up way, and therefore it gets banned or something else gets banned because of it.
That's fair. I didn't put Assassin because I truly believe LSS doesn't care. I think they're just going to give Assassin whatever they want and not care. I have no faith in LSS reeling back Assassins, honestly. So I
That's
think they'll get a broken card, and then the class that uses the hero that uses it the best will just LL, and they'll just give up on it. They're like, whatever. Yeah.
hilarious. All right. Next one is Sage Hero that gets banned. So there's going to be
Yeah.
three of these that people vote for. So
Mm.
what do you think is one of the heroes that will get banned in the first vote? Now keep in
Mm.
mind, we're not voting after Compendium. The first vote will be after whatever the middle set of the year is.
Yeah. Uh, I it'll be old him for sure.
I'm going to go with Chain.
That was my second one. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that both of these heroes are too powerful on their hero card, which makes them impossible to balance in Sage.
Absolutely.
And they both have kind of replacements. Like Terra and most other Guardians are the kind of replacement for Oldhim, and Chain is kind of replaced by Vincent. And I think that they will simply ban the broken hero ability, or the community will ban the broken hero ability to get around that.
Yeah. I believe old him his hero ability is too good. And like you said earlier, with the yellow 4 blocks that he can play, and without those, he was already winning Sage events anyway.
He's really,
So
really
I
good.
think he's just probably the top deck, and
Yeah.
it's so unfun to play against.
Yeah, I think we're going to need to speed up a little bit, so let's keep going. Armory deck number 2. What other decks, what other hero or class, I guess, would get an armory deck?
Mm,
Hmm.
I'd go with Illusionist.
Oh,
I
so
think an
good. A
Illusionist.
new illusionist.
We haven't got one for a while,
Yeah.
and I would love to see a new take on Illusionist.
Okay. I don't know which of these two heroes will get it, but I think Reviled will get an armory deck. I think it's likely to be one of the two we have, not a new hero. But I think
Yep.
that Reviled and Revered are both really close to being good. So I think one of those will get it. I'm going to go with Reviled.
Interesting. I wouldn't think Reviled because they had the Brute Rhinar deck printed and then the Pleiades Guardian deck. So it's an interesting deck. I'd be happy to see one though.
That's what I want, yeah. All right, another Sage hero ban.
Mm,
I'm going to start us off with Briar.
yeah,
For
that's
similar reasons, she has replacements and her hero ability is too good.
yeah,
Those are the heroes that get banned in Sage because the community can ban the hero card, but not the cards in deck.
yeah. I can see Aurora getting banned in Sage. She's extremely easy to play, consistent, good attacks. Not good at blocking, but like she can hit like a truck.
Do you
So
think that Aurora would get banned after Briar is also banned? Because she is
yeah,
just
the
worse than Briar.
replacement.
Yeah,
Yes, I think after Briar goes, Aurora will probably take the next hit
yeah.
as a substitute for Briar.
Interesting. All right,
Free slot.
set 20. So, yes, we got a free slot in the middle, then set 20. So, this is the end of the year set. Can we both say Monarch
Yeah,
3?
I was waiting for you to say it.
I think we can both vote that. Uh, I think it's nearly confirmed.
It has to be. We've waited too long.
All right, but more interesting, set 19. So this is the middle set of the year. Do you think it's going to
Set
be something that
19.
reprints Aurora? Should it be something different?
I think it might be the set that either reprints Aurora or brings back another Ranger. Because having only two
Mm,
Rangers and both of them kind of suck right now, I think Ranger could get a whole set supporting them, which would maybe even just like three heroes as a Ranger set by itself would be okay.
oh. All right, I'm on a similar track here. I think that Ranger does have to have a new set this year.
Yeah.
And I also think that Ice needs to return. So I'm going to vote Vault Haven. So this is going to be probably an Ice Lightning set. Could be Aurora and Lexi among other heroes. Uh, I think that this is a kind of safe bet and also something I want to see because I would like to see the return of Ice a little bit.
Totally fair.
All right, in our next row, first is returning mechanic. So, which mechanic of the olden days will get reprinted in a set, in a main set?
I want Wager back. I want
Oh.
Wager to be good.
Do you think
As
that's going to
someone who,
see significant reprinting, not just one or two cards?
um, I want them to. Uh, like, what's it called? Super Slam came out at the end of last year. So I think they could have a whole year to set up another gladiator type. They do love their
They just do
gladiators.
Gladiator once a year every year. That's what set
Yeah, yeah.
20 is Super Slam 2.
Super Slam 2, Electric Boogaloo, SmackDown versus Raw. Um, I can't choose between Wager or Clash. I really love both of them, and I think they can both exist in the same set.
Yeah, I think they're
So
both kind of niche guesses, so I'll let you have both.
yay!
All right.
Halo viewers, I get special treatment.
I think that Fuse is kind of
I
bad.
love you.
Um I think that instead of Fuse, we're going to get Flow. Is that the mechanic? This was on a bunch of cards in the Aurora and Terra decks, the little
Yes.
ones. And they say, like, Lightning Flow, if you have played a Lightning card this turn. I think we're going to see Flow cards for Ice and Lightning, for example. And
Yeah, no,
it's
I think it's right.
it's kind of a new mechanic because there's like 7 cards that have it. All right. Good hero gets bad. So which hero that is currently good will get bad before the end of the year?
I think it's a silly.
You don't think Acilio is gonna LL?
No, I think he's going to get a card banned, and then he's going to
Oh,
become unplayable.
okay.
Uh, I, yeah, I think he's good right now. He's going to be good for probably a month or two. They're going to hit him with a one card ban, and he's going to
That's funny. I want to say Mario to mirror your pick of my LL hero.
die.
I think that Mario is currently the best assassin of the
Hmm.
four, but that Mario is not actually a particularly strong assassin in a lot of ways. I think that if there was a reprint of New or of another assassin, or if someone like Slippy got a significantly powerful card, that Mario wouldn't be the best assassin. And there kind of doesn't ever exist two assassins in a meta.
Yeah,
Or
there
it
can only
seems
be
like
one
that.
true great assassin.
So I think Mario is going to get bad. Probably
On top
because
of
a mark card gets banned, to be honest.
yeah, probably. um, I can see that. I can see it.
Okay.
Although I think just to go on a little bit, I think Mario out of the three current assassins has to be the best. Well, four I guess because Azuri exists.
Yeah.
I think he has to be the best because Slippy cannot be good with Mario being playable. Um,
Well, yeah,
Huntsman is
Slippy
just a
does have a
pig deck.
decent Mario matchup right now. The go again doesn't matter right now because none of them are playing attack actions.
Dagger. Sorry, I forgot daggers. They're just warriors, glorified warriors.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Slippy is actually the strongest hero text an assassin has ever had. And I think Slippy will rise again.
We can hope.
All right. New mechanic 4. So this is a class or talent getting a new mechanic, not a returning one.
Mhm. Hmm. I think Light could get a new mechanic
I was
in
thinking that
103.
too, but I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, it would.
So currently the mechanics are Soul
Yeah.
and I think that's it. But that's exactly why they can get a new mechanic, not replacing Soul, but maybe working alongside of it.
Yes, I could see a light mechanic that banishes cards from your opponent's graveyard, and then you get to put a card from your graveyard into your soul.
Oh,
Like
like
I kind,
cleansing,
yeah,
like
kind
an
of like
exorcism.
yeah, yeah. Some sort of that, where
Okay,
you're both banishing cards from your graveyard, but you get it to your soul, they get it to their banish.
interesting.
So it could work as well with kind of fueling a little bit of Runeblade
Yep,
or Shadow Runeblade to be specific.
possibly true.
It
I
would be.
think
I think it could be interesting.
Wizard is going to get the new mechanic. I think
Like,
Wizard Mastery Set is going to include a new mechanic that isn't Surge or auras with sigil in their name, because that's really all
that's
wizards kind of
fine.
have.
Yeah, and they're already too good with it. I don't think they need anything else.
Hilarious. All right, Mastery Pack number 3, the last Mastery
Mm.
Pack this year.
This one's hard to say.
This one is hard. I want to say this one could be a talent mastery set potentially.
Ooh, interesting.
Um, I think that we've been on a talent tear a little bit.
For a good reason.
They're really, really powerful. I'm gonna say, oh, this is actually not a talent, but I think Pirate could get a mastery set. Because right now it feels like a talent, and to make it feel like a set, they could print pirate heroes and pirate cards that aren't dual classed, or they could print more dual classed cards.
That's fair. All right. I'm gonna go with Guardian. They need to fix
A
their mistake.
second one.
No, no. They should fix their mistake. No, I'm going with Ninja. I think Ninja could get one.
I think that's
Um,
a great vote.
Katsu could get a lot of new combo cards in a
Yeah,
set that doesn't need to be opened or played.
they do need to
Um,
overhaul some of the lines.
yeah, some lines are pretty miserable and shit. Um, what's her name? Syndra could get a few. Fi could get some better cards. Now the brand the Cindercorn's gone and he's still dead. Um, besides Syndra, because ninjas have been written pretty shit.
And then we could get Benji adult.
No,
No,
we
that
should
would
never do that.
that would probably be not very fun.
Nope, it wouldn't.
I don't even think it would be good. It just wouldn't be fun.
Yeah.
All right, next, bad hero gets good. So which hero that is currently really bad is going to get pretty good?
Mm, I want to say Olympia, but I know it's not
Oh,
true.
I think it's not true. Yeah.
um, I'm gonna say Teklevossen. I think Teklevossen with he's getting a bunch of new cards. Um, he has a place he could be played. He could fit somebody into the meta. I think he has a chance to be good,
Okay.
and he is
I
unplayable at the moment.
Yeah, he's pretty bad. He's really, really bad. I want to say, oh, not Tough Nut. I think
He's too bad.
he's too bad. I'm gonna
He
say
is.
Bravo. I think that if they gave Bravo another super powerful specialization or something, he could become the best Guardian, and maybe there could be a meta where he kind of just hits with Dominate every single turn, and that's all he like.
Yeah,
He just rolls until your opponent falls over.
yeah. I can see it. I don't want it, but I can see it.
I think they really want to get some of the Welcome to Wraith heroes out as well. Like, we're
It'd
getting
be
new
good for
Warrior
rotation. Yeah.
cards for Dorinthia. We're getting a Rhina Armory deck we've just had. All right. Sage card that gets banned. So we had our kind of free slot for card that gets banned, but specifically a Sage card that gets banned. What do you think?
You go with Titan's Fist.
Oh, that's good.
Titan's Fist is just too good. It's a card that is the only playable Guardian card. And I think they could honestly reprint more Guardian weapons and then ban Titan's Fist, so it force people to kind of build around new weapons.
I'm going to go
Because
really
Titan's Fist
similar.
is just a weapon.
Yeah, and it's the best weapon by far.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in a similar direction. I think that Death Dealer will get banned.
Ooh, two
It
weapons.
is by far the best bow in Sage. And I think that
Mm,
it eats way too much of the pie. It also makes Azalea really, really strong. So I think that it could eat a ban.
totally fair.
Returning mechanic. So a second returning mechanic this year. Hmm.
This one might be a little hard.
This is going to be a little hard.
Yeah.
So I think that there's going to be an ice set this year. So maybe I'll try and go for an ice mechanic.
Mm.
Frostbite's not really a mechanic. What if they go? Oh, I know. I want to say that exposed gets expanded. So
Mm.
how Jarl says exposed zones, I think that whatever the new ice cards are, exposed will be part of that identity.
Totally fair.
Any ideas, Leo?
I'm going to go with Demi Heroes.
Oh, that's a good one.
Leviah getting her Demi Hero as Blasphemat and redeemed. Um, I think they could absolutely bring them back. For the other Shadow Heroes, for example, Vincent could get a what's the guy's name? Oblivion.
Good Nazareth, sort of.
Nazareth, that's it.
Yeah,
Nazareth Demi Hero or a even like her ultimate form.
she comes out of
Um,
the Iron Maiden.
yeah, and on that also Light Heroes getting a new mechanic also with Demi Heroes. I think it could be a Shadow Light Hero thing.
It could be Monarch 3, could have Demi. I think that
Yeah,
Viserai could have a Shadow and Light Demi Hero pair where he kind of gets you kind of get to choose if you're going to be a good or an evil version of Viserai.
that would be so good.
I think that that could be a good
Uh,
way to kind of finalize the Monarch story. It's kind of almost like you get to choose who wins, sort of thing.
yeah, that would be so interesting.
All right, so we've got three more to go. Armory deck that will get printed this year. So the last Armory deck that we will guess on.
Hard one.
Armory deck. I'm gonna say I think that Betsy gets an Armory
That's
deck.
it.
I don't think that they will do something like a Mastery Pack for Guardian or a
Yeah,
Return
they
to
don't.
Wager in a big way, but I think that Betsy and Olympia both need Armory decks to really become heroes. And I
I would
think
love
that
for her to
Betsy
get
is just a much more interesting design.
absolutely, and I would love for her to get a log, an actual weapon,
Yes.
please. She needs the log. I'm gonna put in a hero that I supported a little earlier, who I think is bad, but will get good. I think Tekla could get it.
I think that's
Um,
pretty fair.
we've seen Dasho got her armory deck, which was insane. Really boosted her forward.
Yep.
And I think Tekla could get it, use it. They could print Singularity in it, so that card isn't super expensive for no reason.
Oh, I feel like they won't though.
Yeah, they should. They really should.
Maybe. Or they could do what they did with Max, which is print an alternative transform,
Ah,
but they should just make it good this time.
yeah. A bank buster is
Pretty
really
crap.
bad.
Alright, new mechanic 4. So which other class or talent is going to get a new mechanic?
Mm, we're on light. I could see Illusionist getting a new mechanic.
Oh yeah.
Maybe even with Light Illusionist coming back in Monarch. Um, because Light and Illusionist only have a mechanic that work. There's no mechanic that combines the two classes.
Right, the hero ability always kind of merges them by like
Yeah.
yeah. I agree. I think that Rune Blades are going to get a new mechanic this year. I think that Viserai will return, and I think that alongside that there will be a new mechanic that is based on rune chants, but not in a way we've seen before. So not a cost reduction maybe, but some other effect that is tiered based on how many rune chants you control.
Yeah, I'm wishing to change my Tekla armory to this, right? But I'll keep it. I'll keep it.
No, he has to be printed in Monarch 3. He's too central to the story to get an armory deck.
Yeah, they could make him an armory origins deck there, and then tie his story into going into Monarch or something.
Actually, that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
All right,
explain where he is right now, because
he's in
we all.
Arathiel. He's
Yeah.
still there. It's been there for years.
What's he
And
doing?
last bingo check of the video. Who will LL? Your final guess for a hero that will LL in 2026.
Mm,
Let's make this a spicy one.
a little spicy. There's a lot of good answers.
Yeah. Who is going to get so many points? I'm going to try and grab someone who has a 1.5 multiplier, right?
Mhm.
Because that makes the most sense. I think it's Katsu. Even though he actually does have a fair few points, I still think it's not super likely that he LLs, so I think it's still a bit of a stretch. But the deck is so close to being broken, I think.
That's fair. Mm. I think I'll have to go with Ira.
Oh, really?
I think she's one or two cards away from being just broken. Her absolute consistency to block with two cards and still swing back absolute haymakers is ridiculous.
Yep.
And I think one or two cards could really just push her over that edge.
And they don't even have to be ninja cards. One or two
No.
generic staples would really do her a lot of a lot of
Yeah.
good.
Interesting, we both put ninjas.
We did both put ninjas. That is interesting. All right, so at this point, we are actually over the hour time limit. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to skip the listener question this week, but next week, Zenwall, we will get to your listener question about heroes that are close to being good, but if they get any better, they could become broken.
Absolutely.
So I think that could even be maybe the main thing. So we'll talk about that and we'll get back to that question.
Gives me
We're
time to
going
mull it
to
over.
wrap it up for today.
Yeah.
If you would like to submit a listener question to get answered and actually answered, hopefully, you can go to the Iron Maiden Discord, which will be in the link in the description below. You can join. There is a listener question channel for you to drop things in. While you're down in the description, you can see, obviously, the Discord, which is a great place to talk about Vincent, but is also welcome to join if you're just a Cussing pod enjoyer. And also a link to my Metafy, which includes Vincent guides and coaching sessions if you are interested in jump-starting your journey or pushing at the next step of your journey of competitive Flesh and Blood. You don't have anything to plug, Leo?
Not yet, not yet. I'm
One
working on
day.
it.
One
One
day.
day. Maybe I'll do something. Give the
Man,
fans what they want.
they're crying out for it.
They need a really bad Jarl player to tell them what to do.
It's probably a good call.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. So good luck, good games, and good
Good
night.
night.